Welcome to Move in May. Today is a plyometric day or a jump training day. So you just need yourself and preferably a hard surface to be jumping on. So let's get started. Okay, first with plyometric training, it is basically jump training, which is really good for your dynamic stabilization of your joints and really helpful for things like coordination, speed, and power. So this will be something you can integrate into your weekly routine that fits along with everything else you're also doing. So we'll get started nice and slowly. We're gonna start just by doing some heel raises or calf raises where you're just rocking up on the toes and dropping down. We're just gonna warm the feet and ankles up. So when you come up, make sure you're pushing into your big toes. So the big toe and the big toe joint and not rolling out into the pinky toe side. All right, so we're just going up and down, starting to fire the feet up a little bit. Today, we're just gonna be doing low amplitude plyometric. So we're not jumping very high, we're not jumping very far. We're just getting kind of the rebounding, bouncing effect. And this is something you just don't wanna add so much in too quickly. So this is why we're slowly building it in. And the point here isn't about volume of doing too much or just trying to get like a cardio workout in. It's about producing good results and good speed by doing it. Okay, now we're gonna come up and down and try to push up as fast as you can without leaving the ground, but just up like you're gonna jump, but just that big calf raise without actually going anywhere. So this is a great start for just what it would feel like to start to create that speed and power before we get into our actual jumps. Just doing a couple more of these. Drive up fast and just see if you can really extend through the feet, really get the heels upward. Okay, so just take one foot and give it a little roll around. We're just gonna kind of open up the foot, just give it a bit of play. So we're gonna start with something called a pogo jump. So all we're trying to do is just bounce off the ground with our feet, but we're essentially kind of locking through the hips and knees. So what you want is that you're bouncing, but you're thinking like after you push down through the ground, you're kind of pulling your toes up towards you. So again, you're just kind of locking the legs as best as you can. And once you start bouncing, just pulling the feet up. So just think really, really stiff legs. So we're gonna do 20 of these. So as stiff as you can, and just really push through the feet. Ready and begin, so 20. Okay, once you've done your 20, just take a quick little breath. So that's just really pushing off the ground as quickly as you can. You're not going very far. Now we're gonna just work on kind of finding more into our knees and hips and really decelerating the force. So what you'll do is you're gonna come up in the calf raise that we were doing, but then you're gonna drop down as fast as you can. And when we drop down, we're gonna sit into the hips and try to catch the force and really brace for the impact. So what you'll do is you'll lift up high on the toes, and now just as quickly as you can drop the heels and sit down. So it's really about that absorption at the end. So come up high, now fast, down. Okay, we're just going to do a series of these for time. So just do them, not necessarily as many as you can, but as many as you can in the best way. So just think, how quickly can I come from the top to the bottom and sit back into my squat. All right. I'm happy to do one more, regardless of where you're at. Excellent. So we brought the knees and hips into that. We're gonna come back to our hops. So now we're gonna incorporate the knees and hips into our pogo hops. So we were just trying to push really stiffly. Now we're gonna keep that same idea, but a little bit more knee bend into it. So it's the pushing and popping, but we're gonna kind of come a little bit more bouncing into the knees. And again, try to do it pretty quickly. So we'll do 20 of those. All right, ready and go. There we go. So you'll feel it's a bit more bouncy. You're absorbing more of the load through the legs as well. Okay, we're gonna shift to a single leg now. So we come back to our original pogos. We're gonna try to keep that stiff leg, stiff ankle, but on one leg. So this will feel probably, well, it will feel a bit trickier. So it's okay if you kind of feel like you're wobbling or losing balance a bit, but just come onto the one foot, try to go as best as you can with that stiff ankle, and then it's 20 pops here. All right, did you move like I did? So, especially if you don't have a firm ground, you'll probably be pushing yourself around each way, but let's come to the other side. Stiff ankle, pops, ready, and go. Good. All right, so yeah, you should feel that through the foot and ankle quite a bit there. We're gonna shift back to our 2 foot. So we'll find that kind of up and drop down, but this time we will actually jump. So we're gonna incorporate those pieces together where we wanna think we're coming up like we did and stepping down, but you're actually gonna add a jump with it, but then land. So it's about the landing that we're looking for. Doesn't matter how high you're going. So I want you to come up like you're gonna jump, because you will, up, and then jump down. So it's just leaving the ground and trying to send the hips back. So just like we were doing before, just for time here. So come up into a jump, boom, land down. Okay, reset and keep going from there. Once you land, just kind of give it a second. You want to absorb that, and then we'll reset. Again, have you do one more then. Excellent. All right, we're getting there. So we're gonna come back to our single leg. So just like we were bouncing, now we're gonna actually bounce forward and backward and still try to keep that same kind of bouncy pogo. So bouncing like so, but we're instead going to go forward into one and back to the other. When you jump forward, that one's going to be quick to come right back. When you come back, you can kind of collect yourself a second. So it'll look like this. You're gonna come forward, bounce, back. So keep the feet separated and go bounce, back, okay? So just like that, just keeping the same one forward. Go ahead and do one more. Good, and then we'll switch sides. So same thing, quick in the front, catch yourself in the back. Excellent. All right, a little bit of bounding there. Now we're just gonna bring it one more time with some rotation. So we're gonna think kind of our bounding position, but we're gonna get there by twisting our hips instead of stepping out. So it'll be from neutral stance. We're gonna basically kind of jump and switch our feet and back. But like the bounding, you're gonna tap and return, okay? So just stick with the one side where you're going to just twist the hips. So come from jump, twist, and back. All right, we'll go for 10 each side. So twist and return. There we go, that should be the 10. And now we'll just go the other way. So again, quick, jumping the other way, right back. And that should be good there. That's all you have to do today for plyometrics. We don't want to do too much at once, but we are going to stretch the feet and calves. So if you come back and kneel down and tuck one toe or one foot in the back and just sit back onto that heel, that'll be a nice one for the feet. So we'll just push back, stretching through the toes and through the foot, and just hold the stretch there. You can take as much weight on or off of the stretch as you like. Then we can switch, go to the other foot, sit back there. And then we'll just come forward into a down dog just to stretch the calves. So if you just stretch the feet back, push the hips up, and then just think about trying to drop the heels as best as you can. There are many ways you can stretch the calves, so as long as you're just basically flexing the foot upward, you can do it this way, up against a wall. Just hold that for a little bit longer here. And then let's go ahead and just push up and out the toes for a second and drop down. Just move your feet around. And then you can come on down. And that's all for your plyometric day. See you tomorrow.